Hey there, friends from around the world. Welcome back to another video. Glad to have you back. I know that a lot of you who watch my videos have some degree of interest in China. I know some of you currently live here in China, some of you have previously been here but have already gone, and some of you are planning to come here someday. And others of you are just interested in various aspects of China, whether it be the language, the food, the culture, etc. It's all actually intertwined anyway, to be honest. My relationship with China started way back in 2007. It's been one heck of a ride. I arrived in China right in the midst of their modern day golden era, while the economy was skyrocketing and China was really opening up to the world. I watched the climb up. I experienced it firsthand. I watched China peak. I was here throughout the entire COVID fiasco, and I'm still here as China is in a closing off process to the world, and the days of the economic rocket ship have already passed. Good times, bad times, and everything in between, I've experienced it all here. One constant throughout my time here in China has been my interest in the language. You see these videos all over the internet. Chinese people shocked by foreigner who speaks perfect Chinese. I've watched a few of them, and from what I've seen, not a single one of them were anywhere close to speaking quote unquote perfect Chinese. Although, admittedly, some of them were quite good. Unlike those guys and girls, I won't claim to speak perfect Chinese because, well, that's just silly. I'd say that I speak at an upper intermediate level. While that is certainly something to be proud of, and I'm definitely proud of the progress that I have made, I'll be the first to tell you that I have a long way to go. We often hear that Chinese is one of the hardest languages in the world to learn. I don't necessarily agree with that assessment, though. In my opinion, the hardest language to learn is always going to be the language that you are trying to learn, but that you have little to no interest in. Maybe you have to do it for school or something like that. And the easiest language for you personally will most likely be the one that you are truly interested in and passionate about learning. Having a passion and a real desire to learn a language is half the battle. So if you were really interested in Chinese, but you were afraid to take the plunge because of its reputation as being so hard, well, cast those fears aside and saddle up. Well, I guess I'd better get back to the specific topic mentioned in the title of this video, the 3 hardest things about learning Chinese. Before some of you all start writing it in the comment section, I can see it already. What is this clickbait? All right, so without beating around the bush, let's get into it. Number 1, and this goes for learning any new language, not just Chinese, and that is starting from the beginning, starting from zero, going straight down to baby level. Well, newborn level, because most babies at least know how to say mama. But when you're starting a new language, you might not even know how to say that. This part is hard because it's like stepping out on the road for a 1,000-mile journey and you're just taking that very first step. You know there's such a long way to go, but this is just how life is, pretty much in any worthwhile endeavor. With just about anything, in the very beginning, you have to start out as an absolute beginner. It's kind of disheartening and maybe even embarrassing when you tell people that you've started a new language, but yet you can barely count to 10. You don't know the colors, you, me, him, her, we, they. Nope. This is the level where most people quit. Listen again, guys. It is in this absolute beginner level when most people hang up the gloves and just give up on what could have been a life-changing and very worthwhile hobby. Once you start learning a language, you realize that it's not going to be a quick process. There's no magical shortcut. After a month of studying every day only to find out that you still can't string a basic sentence together and your vocabulary is still atrocious, you just start to lose your motivation. You close the books. And then the next day you find yourself choosing to do something else with your time rather than studying. And then each day that you skip, it just gets easier and easier to skip the next day. And that's usually the end of it. Let me tell you a secret, guys. If you can just make yourself a simple promise you'll drastically increase your chances of success. Here's the pro tip. Promise yourself that despite your progress or lack thereof, or how bad you feel you suck after a few weeks or months, you promise yourself that you will stick with it and continue to study it. You see, the learning curve starts out pretty flat. Things start off pretty slow. You're just getting the very first pieces of the puzzle. But what will eventually happen is that despite what you feel to be a slow start, proving to yourself that you just aren't good at languages, your ability will eventually start to shoot up steeply and your level will jump up sharply. Suddenly, it'll start to click and you'll be able to actually use the language to have conversations. You'll be able to understand what people are saying. It'll just kind of happen. The basics will be on lock, and all of those hours that you put in will start to pay off. Once you get to this point, chances are you'll stick with it. You just have to get past that absolute beginner stage. Just put your head down and just keep grinding. You got to grind through it. Getting past that is not easy. You have to be patient, and it takes a lot of effort. But if you keep studying, you will get there. Whether it's 6 months, 1 year, 2 or 3 years, it's different for everyone. But the reality is that anybody can do it. And I'm not exaggerating when I say anybody. You do need to stick with it every day, though. 2 hours a week just won't cut it. If you miss a day, well, screw it. Just jump back into it the following day. You know, nobody's perfect. Sometimes life just happens. Maybe you get really sick. Maybe you just don't have time. Maybe one day you're just lazy and depressed. Who knows what the reason is? But the main thing is to just wipe off the dust and jump back on the horse as soon as you can. Do not fall into that trap. Oh, shoot, I've already missed 2 days. I guess I'm just a failure. I might as well quit. That's a trap that many of us are very familiar with. I personally have a lot of experience with that trap, and I'm not a fan of it. Also, if you want to really accelerate your learning, it would help to have a teacher who can really get the ball rolling for you. So maybe once or twice a week, you could have a lesson with a teacher, and the rest of the days you could review and self-study. But wait, find a teacher? Where? Listen, with the internet, there are lessons available all over the place. You can study right from your computer. I personally recommend Excel Mandarin for this. Not just because they are a sponsor here on my channel, but because they are just all around fantastic. If I had started out with something like Excel Mandarin rather than just trying to do everything on my own, I would have learned literally about 4 or 5 times faster. They're based in the US and they have classes available for all levels. They have bilingual native Chinese speakers to teach you the right way. So you'll learn how to say things correctly and not in some weird way that leaves you sounding like some kind of a mix between a robot and a caveman. Their online resource center that you'll have access to is freaking insane. There are so many tools that will help you out along your way. And did I mention that they have 24/7 support? They are a sponsor here on my channel, but the reason that I'm so thrilled to be teamed up with them is because we are both passionate about learning Chinese, and they are covering it from all angles. Listening, speaking, reading, writing, guidance, support, all different types of tools and resources. I mean, they really do have it all. They can take you from beginner to fluent, and the people on that team are insanely nice. I recommend that you go sign up for a free, no strings attached lesson, and make sure to tell them that Mr. Chopsticks sent you. This part is crucial, so please don't forget. The second thing that is hard about learning Chinese is learning the Chinese characters. Learning to read and write Chinese characters is a lot more time-consuming and complicated than learning an alphabet. Although there are tens of thousands of characters in Chinese, the good news is that you don't need to know them all. In order to read a newspaper, you'd need to know about 2,000 to 3,000 characters to be able to read it fairly smoothly. But once you learn just a few hundred characters, you'll be able to have basic conversations via text messages. If you have WeChat and you know a few hundred Chinese characters, and if you have a Chinese friend or two on there, you'll be able to read most of their messages and write what you need to write. And by doing that, that is also a great way to keep up your practice in actually using Chinese. I first started learning Chinese characters way back in 2008. The way it started for me is that I was teaching ESL, English as a Second Language, in China, and I had a month-long holiday. So I went out backpacking around the country during that time. And while I was in Shanghai, I was browsing through a foreign languages bookstore and I saw a box set of flashcards from a brand called Tuddle. They were fantastic. They taught me the basic characters, showed me how to write them, the proper stroke order, showed me some example words that included the characters because a lot of the words in Chinese are compounds of multiple characters. They showed me the English pronunciation of the characters, which is called pinyin, and even included an example sentence or two. Nowadays, since we're living in this high-tech modern age, you can do all of this through a phone or preferably an iPad because the screen is bigger. There are plenty of great apps out there to help you learn Chinese. There's a wonderful one that I just came across recently called Hack Chinese that tracks your progress and includes all of the same things that I described to you on my Tuttle flashcards and a whole lot more. It's all set up right there within the app and it's loaded with practice sentences and audio readings. It starts you off on the appropriate level, and once it knows your level, it will guide you in a natural way. I'll attach a link in the video description so you can go check that out if you're interested. From what I can see, it's definitely one of the most, if not the most, comprehensive Chinese language learning app out there. Easy, convenient, comprehensive. So yeah, the characters take a lot of time to learn, but they are fun and interesting as well. Once you get started, you'll probably just want to keep learning more. It's kind of addicting in a weird way. If you start studying Chinese, you'll see what I'm talking about. And then the last thing that can be a real pain in the butt when learning Chinese is learning the tones. Chinese is a tonal language, and the tones, while to non-Chinese might not seem all that important, the reality is that they are in fact very important. In Chinese, there are 4 tones, and they are simply referred to as the first through the 4th tones. First tone, second tone, third tone, fourth tone. Sometimes you'll hear about a 5th tone, but all that is the neutral tone. In other words, it's a character that is pronounced with no tone, the neutral tone. In Chinese, you'll often hear many of the same sounds, but with different tones. That can really play tricks on your mind in the beginning. Let me give you an example of how this works. We'll use the letters M-A, ma, and I'll pronounce it with each of the different tones and tell you the meaning of it when I read it with that particular tone. So the first tone, ma, means mother. And then the second tone, a rising tone, ma, that means hemp or flax. And then there's the third tone, a falling rising tone, ma, that means horse. And then we have the 4th tone, ma. It's just a falling tone, ma. And that means to curse or scold. So there you have it. The same 2 letters when written in pinyin, M-A, all with different tones and all with very different meanings. Of course, you're going to make mistakes and use the wrong one. We all do it. I still do it all the time. It's not a huge deal because simply based on the context of what you're saying, 99% of the time the listener will understand your meaning. So don't let this part intimidate you. I really have to reiterate that. Don't get too obsessed with this and worry about it. Just be mindful of this fact that different tones create different meanings and that it is important. Over time, you'll get better and better at it. So for me, those are the 3 hardest things about learning Mandarin Chinese. The first was starting from 0. The second was learning the characters. And then the third was remembering the correct tones. Have you studied Chinese before, or are you currently studying? Do you agree with these things that I've mentioned here, or do you find different aspects more challenging? Let me know in the comments section below. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on this. Guys, as always, thank you so much for following the channel and supporting my efforts. Just watching and subscribing, and of course, smashing the living hell out of that like button are already support enough. But if you do want to take your support to the next level, there are several ways you can do that. There's Super Thanks right here on YouTube. There's Patreon. There's Buy Me a Coffee. All links are below. Lots more travel, language, culture, and current events content on the way. Looking forward to catching you all in the next video. 下次再见。 I want to give an extra special thanks to all of my YouTube members and Patreon supporters for their help in keeping this channel financially sustainable. A huge thank you to all supporters from the $1 tier on up through the higher tiers. I want to give an extra special acknowledgement to my PCO tier members. And lastly, a huge shout out to my top tier supporters. Lee, Martin S., David is Da Wei, and 有爱心的外国人. Oh, and just so you know, you guys rock.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?